I don't care if you've been trying to force fuck her throat all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Project, coming to you live direct from the stack. Smoke me out there with that dang shit on my left. Open it in the world.
All right. Happy May the 4th to all of y'all. Or, as Ben Shapiro would say, yes, bitch, slay.
Jesus Christ. All right, you got me with that. My far right in there and on the ones and twos. Joke people out on 3 to 4 chrono.
The U.S. government, especially the Supreme Court, needs a big dose of mind your business.
Last but not least, you got your boy Blue.
Can a ghost and a zombie be the same person? I'm just wondering.
I don't know.
Oh, I was like, are we supposed to
question.
answer? Like,
Yeah.
Is that rhetorical?
That's historical.
What? It's hysterical, is what it is.
There you go. Holy shit!
I feel like that's a yes. I feel like Scooby Doo's done that.
Yeah, that was a white dude in a mask.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, but I mean, the more recent ones, there's one where they go to like a haunted lighthouse, and like the ghosts are like zombies or whatnot. But there is a dude in the mask. But there's a secondary story of where like the place is like voodoo cursed or whatever. It's a fairly recent one.
Zombies are really undead, but they have a physical body and they can bite. Ghosts are not supposed to be able to, you know.
They're incorporeal.
Unless you're watching American Horror Story.
But if it's a ghost, like, is it like, since the zombie is, I think, kind of technically dead, so their spirit's not in their body anymore, and that's pretty much what a ghost is. So.
Yeah, I mean, it gets into a gray area. I like zombies being viewed as not dead and not living, but undead.
I like the undead thing too.
Yeah.
What about unalive?
Dead alive.
There you go.
Unalive. I'm about to make this fool unalive.
All right, we got to get... Kronos, you got some statistics for us? We can go all day on this one.
I do have the statistics. Our listener of the week would be Anthony. Thank you very much for listening so many times. Definitely appreciate it. First in the chat would be nobody just yet.
God damn. All right. Old Ninja, you usually pour out something that's brown and frothy, malty, so to speak. Who you pouring it out for and why come?
Bruh, it's never frothy, bruh. It's always just malty. Sometimes it's fucking salty.
Oh, yeah. This went to weird places.
Yeah, we're gonna pour out some St. Ides for
somebody.
Oh, there we go. We're gonna start out with Neil Adams. He was a creators' rights advocate who helped secure a pension and recognition for Superman creators Jerry Siegel and Joel Shuster. He also co-created the character Raja Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, depending on where you're from, I guess. Man-Bat and John Stewart for DC Comics.
Oh, shit.
He was the first artist to ever draw Deadman in Strange, I believe it's Strange Tales, did I get it right? He was also influential in returning Batman to his gothic roots in the late 1960s. In contrast to the TV show, which was on at the time, he co-wrote for the Green Lantern, Green Arrow series in the 70s. The team that ran and introduced the storyline where Roy Harper was an addict. That was him and his co-writer. I forget his co-writer's name. He drew the cover for the famous Superman versus Muhammad Ali cover in 1978. He also freelanced for Marvel, working on the Uncanny X-Men and the Avengers. He created Continuity Comics, which ran until 1994. He was inducted into the Eisner Awards Will Eisner Comic Book Hall of Fame in 1998, the Harvey Awards Jack Kirby Hall of Fame in 1999, and the Inkwell Awards Joe Sinnott Hall of Fame in 2019. He died at the age of 80 from complications of sepsis.
Damn. But what an impact, man. I mean,
Now, I actually skipped a couple of things because he used to direct movies for Troma. You don't know who
damn.
Trauma
This
is?
is real
Trauma
shitty movies.
films. Yeah, I mean they're known for going way
Yeah.
over the top. Like they had no problem shooting kids in the face.
Oh,
Crazy
sorry.
like zombie shit.
I might have offended somebody by
Like-
saying they're shitty. I mean, they're kind of purposely kind of shitty. So,
Yeah,
but they're
I mean,
entertaining though. The Swamp Thing and shit like that, you know. So
yeah, Swamp Thing's under Trauma, but they also had stuff where like they had this movie where there's vampire kids, and they have a scene where this guy shoves a double barrel shotgun in a kid's mouth. The kid's probably like 9 or 10, and they blow out the back of his head, it's like full on screen.
he knows
And
what he
there's
did.
like blood and guts everywhere. They did a bunch of stuff like that. They were known as like campy horror, over the top kind of stuff. He directed a movie with 2 of his kids in
No,
it.
it wasn't Swamp
So-
Thing. It wasn't the Toxic Avengers. A Toxic Avenger.
I think it was
Wasn't that
both.
Trauma? Okay, was it both?
I
Okay.
think it was both. I
Yeah,
think
they
Trauma.
were.
Trauma, I think gained like traction with Swamp Thing, but Toxic Avenger was like the one where people were like, "This is super crazy but entertaining."
Mhm.
Did Toxic Adventure? Did they show his penis? Like in
Maybe.
the movie?
I know there's more than one because I remember watching.
He has 2 dicks.
Maybe I mean
Yeah,
he was
Like,
Yeah.
it's like Klingon, right?
he was mutated.
Klingons have
Yeah, I
2
remember
dicks,
that
by the
shit.
way. That's just the more you know.
Just how
They
it
have 2
goes.
dicks. That's real though.
Yeah.
I'm not bullshitting about that
Yeah.
part.
Mhm.
It's real, but
Moving on. Next up, we have Naomi Judd, born Diane Ellen Judd, was a 5-time Grammy-winning country star and actress known for her work as one half of the mother-daughter duo The Judds. She is the mother of actress Ashley Judd and Winona Judd, the other half of the duo group. The Judds, they scored 20 top 10 hits, including 15 number 1 hits. Naomi had her own morning show on the Hallmark Channel and starred in a handful of movies such as The Killing Game and A Holiday Romance. She was an advocate for mental health. She opened up about her struggles with suicidal depression in 2016 with her book River of Time, My Descent into Depression and How I Emerged with Hope. She also wrote an open letter about suicide for Mental Health Awareness Week in 2018. However, on April 30th, at the age of 76, she killed herself.
Damn.
So her death has been currently ruled a suicide, which is being actively investigated today.
Shit, man. At first, I thought it was her daughter. When I heard
Daughter,
the Judd
yeah.
died, I was like, "Oh shit!" You know,
No,
and
Naomi
Ashley used
Judd-
to be a big fucking star herself. Like she was all over the place back in the day.
I think she's on a TV show now, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, for real? Okay.
I
I haven't
think
seen her in a
so.
minute.
Yeah, I don't think she's in like any major movies in a minute, but she's still acting.
Yeah, man. It's really sad. I mean, I never really listened to a lot of their country songs per se, but I saw them in a bunch of movies and whatnot. So, big time shit.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that your mom would end herself. That's kind of trippy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody else?
That's all I got for this week.
All right. Well, they're saying online that we officially passed a million, plus a million Americans
nothing
gone
a while
from
ago.
Rona.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that sad, tragic milestone shit that is astronomical. Where do you guys want to start? Because there's a whole lot of hot shit going on this week. Goddamn.
There is. There was like
Dude.
a lot of messed up stuff that happened.
Especially stuff that happened today. You
You wanna do
go
the-
into this Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, we can do that one first.
That
if you
was
want.
last night.
Yeah, that show was fucking crazy. Yeah, Dave Chappelle was down at the Hollywood Bowl doing stand-up special for Netflix for their Netflix is a joke. I guess it's a festival or something like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, he was doing a performance, and some dude ran up on the stage with a replica weapon that shoots a knife or some shit. So something weird. I was like, how the fuck? What? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he tackled Dave, and Dave was able to get away. But security just ran up on dude, grabbed him, snatched him up, pulled him over to the side, and motherfuckers was stomping his ass. Like the dude was getting his ass beat. Like it was so bad that the ambulance had to. Oh, I said that right.
Somebody called
Ambulance. I'm like, get him.
You said ambulance. Somebody called an ambulance.
Somebody called the ambulance. Yeah, the paramedics had to come out for him, and dude was busted. I think was his arm broken because that thing was bent a different way.
It looked like his arm was
Looks like
going
he got
the wrong way.
It looked like it's probably a shoulder. It looked like he got Kimura and just snap his shoulder up. That's what it looks like after you Kimura somebody and they don't tap.
Yeah, and they know the guy's name. I can't remember. I don't remember. It's something Lee. Maybe it was Hunter Lee.
That's a joke only me and Blue would understand.
Yeah. But yeah, man, what was your guys' take on this? Because it was, I mean, because we had what just happened with at the Oscars with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. So, and I don't know how this guy got on stage, how he got this like weapon inside of the stadium. Like this is fucking weird. Like how this shit went down.
So I've seen numerous videos of this one event from various different angles, and like it's super crazy because like the guy he blindsides him, but he like shoulder checks him, which knocks Dave's to the ground, and then like it looks like 30 people come on stage, and there's like this big backdrop. They chase this dude back there, and like this dude don't come back out until he's like broken, because they run back there, and then like there's other stars at this event. So Jamie Foxx was there, Busta Rhymes was there, Chris Rock is there. I don't know who else is there, but the ones that I just mentioned, they come back on stage because Dave asked them to come out on stage because he's making jokes about what happened, and Chris Rock comes out. You know, they like give each other props, and Chris Rock was like, "Was that Will Smith who just ran up here?" I was like, "Holy shit!" The crowd goes crazy. Dave is laughing about it. He's like, "Dude, well, this dude's getting stomped out backstage." So, you know, and then like Jamie Foxx comes out, he makes a speech, talking about, you know, we got to protect our comedians and this is our way of life type stuff. You know, props to Dave for holding it down, and you know, because Dave he kept the show kind of going. I guess it was the end of his set, but he still kept it going.
Well, he was bringing out. It wasn't really hold on. It wasn't a set. I thought he was just bringing out like a group. Yeah, he's bringing out. Yeah, he said he was bringing up an artist, like a hip hop artist. Maybe it was the end of his set. I don't know, but it sounded like he was bringing out like an artist.
Yeah, from what I saw, he's in the middle. When I saw the video, he's the one where he gets shoulder hit. He's in the middle of a sentence, and you just see this dude just come out. And when at the end, that's when Dave brings out Chris, Jamie, and Busta. Busta doesn't really say anything on the mic, or at least if he does, he doesn't like. I think Dave oversteps him or whatnot. But those are the videos I saw. There's a couple other videos I saw. It's mainly they're just him being hit on like the jumbotron from people in like the nosebleed seats. What did y'all see any of this stuff?
So LAPD just released images of the weapon the guy had. So it was pretty much like a pocket knife, but the hilt was the shape of a gun. So it was actually a knife. It wasn't a gun, but it was a knife. But still, I mean, it's a deadly fucking weapon.
When you said, hold on, real quick. When I think it was Blue or somebody said that he had a gun that shot knives, I was like, that's some real fucking comic book villain shit right there. I was like, bro, that's like a Borderlands weapon right there.
Yeah, I didn't believe Blue until I saw it for myself, and I was like, "Holy shit, that is a
gun
that shoots knives."
It said it in the article. I was like, wait, how the fuck is a gun going to shoot knives? But yeah, it's a switch. It's a knife, like a not a handgun. Yeah, switchblade, where basically the hilt is as a gun in gun shape.
So Dave Chappelle is really fortunate. This could have turned ugly very quickly. He wasn't expecting this. This wasn't any fucking gag or anything. This was a crazy fucking lunatic with a weapon jumping on stage to do who knows fucking what. I'm glad he got his ass fucking stomped out, arm broken up, busted all up, and with his to the ambulance, the stretcher, whatever. His broken arm, you could see it chained up to the fucking stretcher. I love that.
That's a real dick move right there, though. It's like, yo, maybe his other arm, or his leg or something. It's like, come on, man.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, he already got his ass whooped.
Nah, fuck him some more. We'll keep whooping his ass. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we talked about it. It was very recently with the whole thing with Chris Rock getting slapped on stage and whatnot. Again, this guy had a weapon. You never know what the fuck was actually going to occur. Props to Dave that his team did whoop this motherfucker's ass, but people coming up on stage at a comedy show are lunatics. Attacking a comedian. If you don't like a comedian, don't go.
Or
don't watch their special.
Just fucking leave. You're obligated to leave if you don't like their style of comedy. Just fucking go.
But here's the thing. I don't think this was just impromptu kind of thing. And he said something, and now I'm going to jump on stage. I think this motherfucker planned this shit. Hollywood Bowl's got a beefing up fucking security for certain. And at the same time, again, I'm really disappointed with some people, not all, who don't seem all that sympathetic towards Dave. They seem more sympathetic towards the guy who was the attacker that got his ass beat.
No, I have seen the complete opposite of that. I've seen nothing but support, and then I've seen people because there's more video of people seeing this man being handcuffed to the stretcher and being pulled away. As he's being pulled away, you have like 200 people booing this man as he's going about, and like the cops come up there backing people up. They hey, back up, because they don't want no one else to retaliate against the guy because he's handcuffed to a stretcher and his right eye is swollen shut.
But I'll show you
and people are just like,
I'll show you plenty of threads. I'll show you plenty of posts or whatever. Where people are talking about. I'm not saying it doesn't. Hold on. One sec. This let me say. There's plenty of threads. Again, plenty of posts, plenty of tweets and shit with people saying, basically, Dave had this coming. And if you don't believe me, you can search for your fucking self, or I can post them screenshots all over the place. Plenty of people, not the majority, but plenty of people in the vocal minority were like, Dave had it coming because he was making a joke or something in this last special, and it had to do with trans folks or whatever. None of what Dave has ever done has warranted him.
He actually made a trans joke after the fact.
He made a trans joke.
He's a comedian. You know what I mean? But nothing he's ever said or done has warranted him getting attacked and blindsided on stage by somebody with a weapon.
No, I'm not saying that there's obviously going to be, no matter what, especially now, especially with the Twitter free speech platform type shit, there's always going to be people for and against, for no matter what. Same thing with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. You're going to see the for and against, him, her, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying, what I've seen, especially on sites like TMZ, is overwhelming support for Dave. So, especially the fact that he could have been seriously injured.
Yeah, the victim in the situation, just like Chris Rock was the victim in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Honestly, I think that what Will Smith did, like, gave people confidence to do shit like this. Don't get me wrong. I mean, stuff like this has happened before, but it's in like really small comedy clubs where it's like, they definitely weren't large venues. To have somebody jump up on a large venue and try to assault a comedian, man, it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, you guys are out of your fucking mind.
Such a huge fucking venue. Like, where do you think he was going to go? Like, that was down there kamikaze doing that shit, like attacking a celebrity on stage. And
yeah, I think that guy waited for like a break in security, because I think it looks like when he got on stage, they tried to catch him and he managed to break through because he doesn't have full balance, and he managed to shoulder hit Dave, which sends him going to the ground. But as soon as he hits the ground, you see just people from nowhere backstage just come running, chasing this guy, because this guy runs to the back and then you don't see him. And then the next time you do see him, he's broken.
Yeah. And again, I'm so fucking happy he got his fucking ass beat. People get way too bold with this kind of crazy shit. You don't attack somebody. You don't go on stage. Dave's doing his fucking job. You know what I mean? I'm so glad his security team made him look like Mojo Jojo. Keep beating on that mofo.
That's
I'm looking at a meme from JoJo Bizarre or whatever. You know the scene where dude's sitting there sipping the wine, and other guy is kicking his ass outside. He joined in. Dave Chappelle watching his game, pull up on some dude.
Yeah, man, that was from Golden Wind. So yeah, I mean, I hope Chappelle is obviously gonna be okay and get back out there. Of course he will, I'm sure. But Jesus Christ, man! But you don't know what's going on with people's stupid ass heads.
Chappelle had a moment where he was yoked. Like after he came back from his Africa retreat or whatever he did after the Chappelle show ended, he came back yoked as fuck. It was like, yo, that's not the same Dave Chappelle. That's imposter. That's not the same dude because he went from being skinny like me to being like damn near like The Rock. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty. If it was Dave back then, he probably could have taken that guy down easily. But he's a little bit more on the older Dave now.
Lucky it wasn't. Even though most people don't like the guy right now, but Joe Rogan. Like if somebody runs up on that dude, it's like, like you're gonna have a fucking bad day.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just don't. But here's the other thing too. If this was any comedian, like I don't like Amy Schumer all that much. I don't find her that funny, but she don't deserve to get fucking slapped or hit or tackled or whatever on stage. Like fuck all that noise. You know, just don't go to her show if you don't like her. It's really fucking simple. So
they should just bring back the old school thing when comedians stink. You just throw fucking like rotten fruit and tomatoes and shit at them.
Yeah, and you got to get the long ass fucking hook and shit and yank them out.
Yeah,
damn.
Apollo style with that bullshit.
Yeah, you got the Apollo clown or something coming out.
Mm-hmm. Boo that motherfucker.
Or bring back. They tried bringing it back, but it didn't work. Was the Gong Show? So if you were sucking, someone would come out, hit that gong. Wow, you got to get the fuck off stage.
Yeah, they did try to bring that.
They tried to bring it back. It didn't work because they tried to do all these stupid things with it. Wasn't working.
Nah, it was a simple formula, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm looking at the image of the dude, and he is just fucked up. Like he's got a big ass knot in his head.
His eyes swollen. His arm was going the wrong way. They fucked him up. He got stomped out.
And you don't even know if you don't even know if he had like, not that it's going to be a legitimate beef, but if he had something against Dave or whatever, you don't even know any of that shit. So whatever fucking cause he did that bullshit for, gone out the window. He just got his ass whooped. That's it. You know. So
yeah, it is on that. Kind of on the same page, but I just got to bring up why Drake is better than Future.
What is this dude doing?
Oh man! So
Ninja, why are you?
What?
He keeps going. Keep going.
Keep it going. I'm gonna bring this up because this.
Grab the shovel. Go ahead. Start digging.
This is because Prodigy's boy Future. You know, he dropped a new album over the weekend. He's probably he should have hit #1.
Already did.
But some dude was trolling Drake on Instagram. So Drake just called him out and is like, you know what? He starts following the guy's wife. And then he DM'd the dude's wife. The wife got all excited and stuff. Dude's like, he took a video of Drake DMing his wife. He's like, hold up. The dude ended up deactivating his account after he was.
Hold on, Ninja. Drake. I don't think Future would even contact a hoe. First of all. So.
Remember, his new album is called "I Never Liked Her."
Yeah.
So,
I don't think he's jumping in some chick's DMs.
Oh no,
he works like that.
Oh, you mean Future?
Yeah, I don't think Future would ever do something like that.
He's too busy. Drake makes that. But here's the other really funny thing to me is both of those two are like homies. They've done like albums together. Drake's all over Future's album. Future's all over Drake's albums. They're like tight as thick as thieves or whatever. You know what I mean? So
did you ever smash a homie? like Boondocks.
Oh, bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna have any types of W's on that one, old ninja. All right. To more serious stuff of the day. Kronos, you want to set it up? I know what you're going to break down.
Yeah, so apparently this is not official, all right? So people are kind of like, oh my God, but it's not official yet. But also it's kind of the time to say, oh my God, because there's like a lot of shit that we'll talk about in a minute. So apparently a draft decision for repealing Roe versus Wade came out. And apparently the U.S. Supreme Court is planning on repealing Roe versus Wade, which is crazy because it's already a precedent, which to me is already a shitty thing about, the law because they always just go back to precedent, which sometimes the precedent sucks. But this has already been, what precedent means is basically if a Supreme Court is already, or a court of some sort has already ruled on something, then another court would be like, well, the precedent is, they already ruled upon it, looked at all the evidence. This is just like that. Whatever. And so they do that with like some things where they probably shouldn't do it, but in this case they should because it's already been ruled on twice in the Supreme Court. So it wasn't just Roe versus Wade. It was also Planned Parenthood versus somebody. And the president stood up twice. And so now they're deciding to repeal it for some reason. Well, I know the reason. It's stupid. I think this is a terrible step back in a series of step backs with the U.S. government, just kind of going back in time. They're basically trying to go back to like pre-1955 with everything at this point. That's all one certain side of the government is trying to do is just go back to 1955.
That's when things were good for them.
Yeah, and I'm just
America was great.
And we first saw, the inklings of it with, these new slew of bills with, first, all these other states trying to ban, abortion altogether. Then you saw the things come down with the Don't Say Gay bill, even though it's not literally called the Don't Say Gay bill, but you can't talk about, different types of genders and sexualities in, it's K through 3, and then possibly even above that. And there was like a couple other bills too, just like we finally got the anti-fucking lynching bill, way too fucking late because we just had a guy fucking lynched a couple years ago. So, and it happens, more than people realize. And there was pushback even on that one, on the, the anti-lynching bill, which should be a fucking no-brainer. You still had 3 people go against it. I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Like, do you think mob justice is okay? Like, it's not. Like, it doesn't even, like, the color doesn't even matter. You shouldn't have a mob of people kill somebody and then get away with it. That's basically the basis of this bill, is it's a mob of people kill somebody without them going through a trial, then all those people need to be prosecuted. So this is not fucking rocket science, but going back to...
Even if you eyeball a white woman?
Yeah. Even going back to fucking...
Or sliding her DMs.
Going back to Roe versus Wade, like, this is just another attack on people's, freedom, especially, like, obviously this affects women, and this bill, 100%, it's going to cause some women to die. Because there are things out there, because these fucking dudes are so... And even some women are so goddamn stupid, they think that there's no way that a baby could possibly have a harmful health effect on a woman. I mean... Women have died in childbirth. It happens all the fucking time. And we're just going to pretend that if we see that this child is not going to be a viable, possible child, if this embryo is going to, not be a viable pregnancy, that you can't abort. Like, it seems really callous towards women in general and really fucked up. And saying that, oh, even if she's raped, you have to carry this baby to term. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You're going to let a woman carry a child that first of all, she didn't ask for, she didn't consent to, she literally got raped, and you want her to carry it to term. Like, what the fuck? Like, that, there's zero argument for that to me, personally. And like, anytime somebody tries to break it down, like, oh, it's a person. No, to me, that's not a fucking person. It's a bundle of cells at that point. And then saying that, this whole thing about the 6 week rule, like, most women don't even realize that they're pregnant at 6 weeks. Like, Jesus Christ, like, that's a week or so of missing a period. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, do you people not understand, like, the way that women's bodies work? I mean, I'm not a fucking expert, but it doesn't take that much. If you've been with a woman long enough, you can see she bleeds in a certain time of the month, and sometimes she might miss it, and sometimes it could just be whatever, and sometimes it could be something else, but you don't know. And so for somebody to not even know that they're pregnant at the time and to force them to carry that baby to term for whatever reason, it's not your fucking choice, man. It's the woman's choice totally. And I don't understand why people want to force their own beliefs on women. Like, stop trying to control people. Everybody, stop trying to control them. Let them live their fucking lives. Anyway, what do y'all think?
Well, I just want to jump in real quick. There was a story I read earlier about a doctor who had a 11-year-old girl come into his practice, and she was complaining about stomach pains, and like the mom didn't know what was going on, and the doctor had asked her, like, is your daughter, does she have like her menstrual cycle? She said, yeah, she had it once, but it just kind of stopped. He's like, well, sometimes that happens. And the doctor was gonna go get some like a MRI scan or a CAT scan, just to, have the baby checked out. Or it's basically a baby; it's 11-year-old. But then he's like, you know what? Let me have her take a pregnancy test. And so he ordered one, and it came back positive. He's like, okay, there's no way. This must be a false negative or false positive. So he had it done again, came back positive. And it turned out this little girl was raped by a family member, and she was pregnant. She's 11 years old with a baby with a baby. And like they had to do, the parents approved of them doing an abortion. I think they probably gave her a pill or something for it. But yeah, he just reminiscent about it and was talking about how, like, I wonder what this, because this was, I think it was like 20 years ago. And he was just wondering, like, I wonder how her life is now. Is she better? Like, did she eventually have a kid on her own? Like this, that, like, if this little girl had this baby, like, it would have wrecked her body. She probably wouldn't even been able to like survive or like, let alone probably even have kids later on, because her body couldn't handle that, and the damage from the baby being born would just. I actually have a friend who actually had a kid at like 12, and like now she can't have kids because her uterus was just destroyed from giving birth. And it's just shitty that her parents, they forced her to have a baby and this, that, and it's all fucking dumb. But yeah, man, like a woman having the ability to have an abortion. Actually, I have another story. I had a coworker or a friend of mine who, she was in a horrible relationship with a guy. The guy was super abusive to her, and she ended up getting pregnant. And like, she knew this relationship was going to work out, so she had an abortion so she wouldn't have that tie to this person. And like, could you imagine if she still had, like, she had the kid, like, she had to deal with this asshole in her life, like, for years to come, just because they have a kid. And it's just sad. Like, women should be able to do what they want with their body. Like, they want to have an abortion, they can have an abortion. They want to carry the baby to full term, they can carry the baby to full term. Like, it's, the government needs to get out of the woman's body, basically.
Well, and this, one of the things that I can't stand is that these people say that they're murdering babies. If you really believe that, you would literally call in the police on every single person that had an abortion, but you're not, because you know it is not a fucking murder. Like, don't get me wrong, you can take some extreme examples of somebody, of a woman where, you know, it is a late-term abortion or something like that, but it's very few and far between, and we all know this. And yeah, is it kind of fucked up? Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, but also, it's kind of not my fucking business either. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know her situation. I you know, none of us do. We just want to impose our own morals on these women when we have no idea what the fuck they're going through. Like, we don't know if they have a fucking home, if they're on drugs, all this shit. You don't know anything about the situation. All you care about is this bundle of cells that could become a human that they're going to abort. That's the problem. But you don't know about their personal situation, and you don't care about it. And after the baby's born, you definitely don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah,
for real. Nobody.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got two quick things on this one. Number one, as Old Ninja has reminded all of our listeners multiple fucking times over the years, we all know I got a vasectomy several years back, and that's why he gets to make fun of me about having seedless fucking nuts.
I mean, I do too, but you know.
Yeah, but my baby gravy has no babies in it. So it is what it is. I had a urologist. I went to a urologist. Had the procedure done, paid for it. It was local. I had a little bit of a deductible, and that was it. Women should be given the exact same right. Like, if you don't want to have a kid, like I didn't want to have a kid, any more kids. I had a procedure. And for men, I think you need to, if you're on the pro-life side, I think you need to view it very similarly. You don't give any guy who's had a vasectomy any shit, ever.
I mean,
you don't even think about it.
I mean,
we bust his balls. Oh wait, we can't. He doesn't have any.
Yeah.
But I'm also waiting for a certain kind of vasectomy to come out, so I'll be on board too, probably pretty soon. So
yeah, I mean, but again, it's no big deal. It is what it is. And then secondly, you know, from just a purely healthcare standpoint, you thinking that the OBGYNs of this country are just going to sit back and watch their colleagues get arrested for providing patient fucking care is going to lead down the darkest of paths. And I'm going to say this, man, if you want doctors to get arrested for literally performing abortions, then you don't deserve to have any doctor actually helping you when you need something. from a medical procedure standpoint.
I think that some OBGYNs are just going to leave those states because there's some slight silver lining about this if this does occur. There are certain states that are out there, obviously, like super blue states, because basically overturning Roe versus Wade, what it's going to do is make it so it's the state's decision, to whether or not to ban abortions. And we obviously know there's like some deep red states that are there's actually already rules on the books waiting for this to happen where it's automatic trigger. As soon as they overturn Roe versus Wade, it's going to be illegal, on a certain level in those states. But there's, California and a few other states that are, pretty blue. They are not obviously.
You, man. You're pretty too.
Yeah, they're not going to obviously. They're going to keep the current rules that we have in our states, which is they're going to allow women to have abortions up until a certain point. And it's going to get into like this weird thing to where you're going to have basically women from other states flying into these other states just to get abortions. And what I'm foreseeing, because California's already talked about it, like they're basically laying down the foundation of like how to travel to California to get abortions. But I already foresee like these other like red states making that illegal. And that's where you get into like some straight up, what was that shit with the fucking women wearing red?
Handmaid's
Tale. Yeah. It's like they're going to start, attempting to arrest women for traveling to get a medical procedure. And that's going to get fucking dark fast.
There are some former slave states that are already, from a legal standpoint, attempting to punish those who cross state lines to do this. So what Kronos is describing is already almost the reality. And
don't they do that in Texas? Can't you get like fined or whatever if you get an abortion in another state? Like somebody can dine you out.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's a huge invasion of privacy. This is what's fucking hilarious to me. It's these same stupid motherfuckers that if you ask them, hey, did you get the COVID vaccine? They talk about HIPAA. Meanwhile, which has nothing to do with fucking HIPAA. Meanwhile, you want to know if a person is what they're going to do with their own body for their, if they want to get an abortion or not. Like that is literally none of your fucking business.
Well, and let's be really crystal clear in a practical manner. Only a certain amount of girls, teens, women are going to be able to afford to travel 400 or 500 miles all the way to the West Coast or the East Coast.
And we know who they're going to be.
Yeah. I mean, you just can't up and go to California anytime you fucking want if you're living off of basically minimum wage or government assistance or just working poor. That's just not how the fucking economics works. Unless someone else is literally fitting the bill, you can't afford to do it. And they're counting on that. So.
Yeah, I'm just disgusted with. And let me just get in another thing. All right. We are letting the minority in America make this change. What I mean by that is the people that are against Roe versus Wade and women having autonomy over their own body, they're mainly far-right people. That is the minority of Americans. Let me say it again for motherfuckers in the back. It is the minority of people in America. The only reason why they have any semblance of fucking representation in America is because they're overrepresented through the Electoral College and through Congress. They're overrepresented. And this is the way it's been for like well over 100 years now. Because of the way they keep redistricting shit and the way that certain states have way more fucking delegates than, liberal states that have way more people. And it's really fucked up. And we keep letting this happen. And it's just like, we need to and on top of that, the other huge issue is the filibuster. Like if we got rid of the filibuster, they could stop this right now. But they can't because you need, I think it's like 60 or 70% of the vote in
60. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's 60, right? 60%, which they can't get. So like right now you're thinking, oh, well, most of Congress is, Democratic. They're Democrats, right? Well, yes, but the problem is you need 60%. It's for it to get to the fucking floor. And so even before it gets to the floor, it's just going to get killed for any sort of, pushback on this. And so if we get rid of the filibuster, I think it needs to be an all hands fucking stop right now with the government. Get rid of the filibuster. Like seriously, nothing else goes through until this shit is done. And then we can function like a normal goddamn government again. Because we can stop shit like this from happening.
Yeah, can I just piggyback and add 2 more quick things on there? You don't have to have Supreme Court justices serve for the rest of their life.
No. And you could have more
really
than fucking... You could have more than, was it 6 or 7 right now?
Yeah, you have 9 right now.
9.
When certain current senators and congressmen, congresswomen, whatever, were born and alive, and when they were kids, there was like 7 of them. So that number has changed throughout the history of this country. We're not constitutionally bound or tied to having 9. You can have 13 as well. And so maybe even that should be considered. Now that seems extreme and blah, blah, blah. And everybody gets all up in arms like we've always only had 9, which isn't true. I've already proved that. But at the same time, taking away women's rights, which is exactly what the fuck this is worth having more Supreme Court justices.
Honestly, even 13 to me just doesn't seem like enough. And I'm just talking like in a rational fashion. There's more than 330 million Americans.
Yep.
You're telling me like less than 0.00001% can do this, and that's a wrap. And the reason why I'm saying that's a wrap is because the rest of because normally there's checks and balances, right? But checks and balances right now are broken because of the fucking filibuster.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like that's why there's always gonna be like a deadlock until like we start expanding. One of the episodes of a Balance Exchange, we went over this because Papa Bear is way better at talking about this kinds of shit than I am, because he knows way more about government. But his whole deal, I was like one of our first ones, was talking about how Congress needed to be expanded to like way over, like I think it was like maybe it was like 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Which is like that makes total sense because like right now it's like I think it's less than 300 people.
Yeah.
And it's like how is this? So some of these Congress people, they're representing like 300,000 people, like or more, and it's just like how they're supposed to represent. They're supposed to be able to go out there, talk to people, and like see what their needs are for their districts, and then like take that into account and like then do their job. But like right now, most of their job is like basically fundraising for their next fucking election.
That's it.
And it's kind of silly. Like people need to pay way more attention about the government, about the way the government actually works, because it right now it's really fucked up, and it doesn't help that the people that we need to help us in general are the Democrats, unfortunately, and they aren't good for shit right now. They're not, because where's the huge pushback from them right now? Where's the huge pushback from the president? He gave some words, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
Let me say this too, because they're chicken shit, flat out chicken shit. They aren't talking about increasing the Supreme Court justices. They're not talking about the filibuster. They won't even pass voting rights legislation.
That would directly help them.
Well, not only directly help them, but also it's the right fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
Right thing to do, because there's been over 200 new laws since the 2020 election directly targeting Black voters in places that didn't vote for Trump. Like overtly, directly, you can't argue against it. And there's no political will. You're not using the bully pulpit. You're not talking about it in the media. You're not having a unified message. You're doing anti-democratic, with a little d, chicken shit stuff where you're not even actually supporting things that are what mostly popular. Like 70% or more support, hey, I would think of this country, and I think that some polls prove it, voting rights, supporting Roe versus Wade. These aren't like fringe things, but they're chicken shit, complete chicken shit.
Yeah,
and so,
I mean, this is why I don't vote, for a typical Democrat anymore, and it's because of shit like this. Like they give all these fucking things they say they're gonna do, and then they don't do them. Like look at all the shit that President Biden said he was gonna run on. What happened to the getting rid of student debt?
Didn't happen.
Where are you going to do anything about the healthcare situation in America? No. Like what are you actually fucking doing to like advance our American society? Like it's not happening.
Well, and here's the thing too. I know that you know how to use political will, because when the Ukraine crisis with that war set off, we've given tens of billions of dollars. And I'm not criticizing the fact that helping the Ukrainian people who are getting attacked by Russia and suffering and all of that, I'm not saying that that's completely wrong. What I am saying is you were able to quickly do that at the drop of a fucking hat.
Yeah, honestly, I'll criticize it because I don't give a fuck. Like, we should not be giving Ukraine that much amount of money. Like, this is literally, it's the Afghanistan handbook all over again. Like, you're literally giving all this money towards a smaller fighting force against Russia, and it's just like, you expect there to be no consequences. Meanwhile, our economy is certainly already fucked up, and it's fucking up even more because you're giving these people money, and you think it's going to stop Russia by just giving them weapons? No, it's not going to stop Russia, and we all fucking know this. But in the meantime, we're giving them weapons to kill Russians. Don't get me wrong, I'm not fucking pro-Russia. I'm 100%. Ukraine needs to be a sovereign nation, because for somebody to be pro-Russia right now, I'd be like, well, why doesn't America just give up California and New Mexico and Alaska and shit like that? You know what I mean? Like, we drew these fucking lines a long time ago. Let it fucking go, and just leave them the fuck alone. But at the same time, we cannot keep propping up these governments with our own tax dollars and weapons and shit like that for literally it's not even about gain, but there's really no fucking upside to this. There's no upside to this. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be lives lost. I get that, but we're not drastically reducing that amount by just throwing weapons at them.
I'm sorry, real quick. Kronos was referring to, for those of you who are too young and maybe not students of history, the 80s Afghanistan with the Russian war. Because some people think, what's he talking about?
Yeah, no.
80s Afghanistan and the Russians invaded Afghanistan, and the U.S. had a proxy war by supporting the Afghanistans, and it led to all types of incredibly awful shit down the road. But
that led to the 2000s Afghanistan situation. Because what did we do? We gave them a bunch of weapons, and then, yes, technically they sort of won against Russia, but then we stopped giving them support, and then what happened? They were like, fuck America, because they ain't giving us shit now.
Well,
they don't like infidels.
I looked up to see how much money, so this is how much money that the U.S. Congress has approved to give to Ukraine for emergency spending, and it's $13.6 billion. That's with a B, billion dollars. And I looked up to see what is the total student debt right now. The student debt's at $1.75 trillion. Like, they could have made people's life a whole lot better.
Could have been a huge
but
debt.
Instead, we're helping another. We're putting ourselves more into debt too. Because where the fuck is that money coming from?
And so, in case you're wondering, hey, Cronus, what would you do? I'd fucking lean on the UN, honestly, in NATO, not just the fucking U.S. Look at all the other countries. Like, what have they done to stop this? Have they put in $13 billion? No, they haven't. So we need to leverage the rest of the goddamn world. We're not the fucking world police. We're not. So we need to, like, especially like right now, because we're in a serious economic depression. It's not really a depression yet, but we're getting there. Like, we're pretty fucking close. Our economy is fucked up, and it's getting even worse because of this happened. And it's getting worse because we're drawing this out by giving them fucking money and weapons. So, and like, we need to use the international community, not just us, to figure this shit out.
And I'll say this really quickly too. As much as you want to have a proxy war and you want to do the sanctions against Russia, you know, the Russian people are already hurting. They're hurting a lot. This is not going to necessarily hurt Putin. And I don't think there's going to necessarily right next week or next month be some a new revolution in Russia and they depose Putin.
I read in a couple of places, though, Putin actually, I'm going to look it up real quick as I'm talking, but I think he has cancer, and he has to, like, transfer power over for a couple of days. Hold on.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, this is like kind of breaking news.
Okay.
What is the U.S. debt called? It's something like the
You're talking about GDP? It's not really debt, but
No, that's gross domestic product.
Yeah.
Like that's different.
No, but what is it like? The U.S. is like I can't think what it's called because I know it's in the trillions of dollars right now.
There's
never mind.
Trade imbalance. I mean, there's a whole bunch of economic indicators. Trade imbalance. There's
the deficit.
Deficit. That's what it is. Yeah, the U.S. deficit. I was trying to figure out how to fucking.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of like stories out here, but it's not proven yet. But it's like a bunch of different news organizations, including the New York Post, that Putin is to undergo cancer surgery and to transfer power to an ex-SFB chief, who's not a great guy either. So
yeah, I was gonna say he'll probably be worse.
Yeah, it's like it's the New York Post, Independent, New York Herald, Daily Mail, which is not a great one, but
Daily Bugle.
Yeah. Trying to get pictures of Spider-Man.
Jonah Jameson does not like
Bugle. He's a menace.
Yeah, it's all bad. These are some dark ass fucking times. I think there's going to be a whole lot. They're already starting of women's rallies and marches, rightly so. But I'm skeptical that there's going to be any results. I think this is basically a done deal. I think we're just a few weeks, maybe a month or so away from it being truly official. Because here's the other thing too: the Supreme Court didn't come out and say, "Oh, there was this leak and blah blah blah. It's not true. It's fake." They didn't say none of that. They didn't say this was not true.
Well, a bunch of people that were saying, "Oh, they were more angry that there was a leak than the actual what was in the leak." Like it's like, please stop. I mean, honestly, if I was in a state that already had something on the books that, hey, if the Supreme Court said this, then we're gonna ban abortions, I would have to move, because literally, K-Mac, her life would literally be at risk if she got pregnant, literally at risk. So, and people be like, "Oh, what's your choice?" Blah blah. But we use contraceptives, but still, like, shit happens.
Condoms are great.
Yeah, and then what if she got raped? Mm-hmm. And it's like beyond just like the trauma of getting raped, like her body just can't support that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But these people, they don't seem to understand the way that human bodies work. Like they all think that every human body is a perfect fucking thing, and they can all just spit out fucking dozens of babies, and you're good. Like there's no it all just goes back to normal again. It's like no, like there's definitely shit out there that can fuck your body up, including having a baby.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know the name of it, but like there's a when the egg becomes fertile, it will flow down the fallopian tubes and into the uterus. But there's times where it will get stuck in the fallopian tubes. It will basically stop there and start to grow inside the fallopian tubes, and that alone can kill a woman. So they have to have an abortion because it could rupture. The woman could bleed out internally. Like it's all bad. So
the other thing is this. Okay, you have to be very practical. In the real world, a teenage girl or a grown woman who wants to have an abortion, let's say in a former slave state, that if it's illegal, is still going to have it. It's just going to be a much more dangerous procedure. And you know exactly what the fuck I mean by that.
Sorry, it's ectopic. That's what it's called. Ectopic pregnancy, and that's also illegal in some of these places. They don't care if it's ectopic. They're just like, fuck it, like whatever.
Just go ahead and die, basically. Like what the fuck, man? Yeah, and now here's the other thing too. I'll say this. Yes, there's a whole lot of men that have been supportive of this. There's been a whole lot of women too.
Yeah, we all know what kind of women they are. Yeah. So they're the same kind of women that if they got raped, they would definitely get an abortion. They definitely wouldn't like raise the kid. They're indoctrinated into this fucking life where they think that they're safe all the time.
Yeah.
And safety is not guaranteed for anybody. I hope that none of this ever happens to any of you. And there was already some fucking hot takes by some stupid ass fucking people talking about,
that woman I tweeted out earlier.
Yeah, she had to delete her whole account. She probably deleted her fucking life. But Prodigy, you're the one that posted it.
Shit, I gotta find it again, man. I was gonna put her on blast. Go, keep talking.
Yeah, basically it was really he'll find it. It was like a really fucked up thing to say, and it just It's crazy how like fast these liberal women, white women, will like go so quick into like racist territory without even realizing it. And it's like you're supposed to be fucking quote unquote woke, and you don't even realize like the shit that you're saying is like so incredibly harmful towards people of color. So did you find it, Prodigy?
Dude, I'm looking in the chat. Oh, I found it. So I guess it's okay to put her name out there. She deleted her fucking Twitter account.
Yeah.
Amanda Duarte.
The receipts were there.
Yeah, Amanda Duarte. Quote, I do wonder how these white supremacist lawmakers would feel if their little white daughters were raped and impregnated by black men. End quote. Now, again, my issue is you are automatically going with this crazy, savage black man racist trope of, got to protect white women from these rapist black men. What the fuck? To my knowledge, I'm a black man. I haven't done anything to you, Amanda. And rightly so, a lot of people were dragging her immediately when they saw this because it has this Roe versus Wade potentially getting overturned ain't got shit to do with you doing this boogeyman scare tactic of evil black men are going to rape your little white daughters. Like, that's fucked up racist bullshit. Fuck her.
Yeah, it's the same shit that led to like thousands of lynchings in America. Thousands of lynchings in America. Yep. People just getting straight up mutilated and fucking burned alive and all kinds of fucked up shit that I have a whole book on.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can't even show the full cover on without Sanctuary.
What was that movie that they had like blackface and they had like
there's a few of them.
No,
yeah, I was going to say you got to be more specific.
The first one, it was like was it Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, I think it was Birth of a Nation. Yeah, and they show like the black man being a fucking savage and stuff like that. It's like it's just history fucking repeating itself down there.
Which doesn't even make fucking sense. Like if you think about it logically, like the amount of like mental backflips that America had to go through, which don't get me wrong, I was indoctrinated on like a lot of fucking American stupid bullshit up until like a couple years ago. But like just think about this logically, okay? Black people were enslaved for like 400 it was more than 400 years. But we'll say for the sake of fucking bullshit history, 400 years. All right? All of a sudden we became free, and then what was the first thing we decided to do? Go rape a bunch of white women. Does that make
knowing
any
that
fucking,
would be death?
Yeah, knowing anything can mean death at that point. Any small infraction. Do you think that any black person that was previously enslaved would just immediately go, "Oh, I'm free. I'm just gonna go rape all these white women"? But Americans ate that shit up like it was fucking apple pie.
Yep.
Yeah, you know why?
Even if
Nat Turner, even though Nat Turner did not rape anyone, they did kill children, unfortunately.
But like, if you look at it on the other side of the coin,
this is before
that 400 years of slavery. Guess what those white masters were doing?
That's another thing.
They were raping their slaves. Like,
yeah,
who's a savage? You tell me. You got people who are in fucking chains, and you coming into the room in the middle of the night.
Not only were they raping,
get your rocks off.
Not only were they raping their enslaved people, they were also making those kids, their own kids, through rape. They enslaved them too.
Yep.
Or sold them.
Which is, what are they doing? They're still enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So they enslaved their own kids while raping their enslaved people. And it's like, but we're the savages.
Yeah, and again, she went there, what was it, yesterday, today, whatever it was. I mean,
a couple of days ago.
So, fuck her couch.
She deleted her account, but the fucking receipts are still out there.
Absolutely. Yep. Screenshots, bitch.
Yeah.
Screenshots.
I saw a picture of her, and she looks like Carol Baskin from Tiger King. She looks like a younger version of her.
She was Twitter verified, too. I was like, damn.
Yeah, blue check mark and everything. I was like,
I wasn't sure. Is she a political person, or isn't she an actress?
I mean, she's a nobody now.
You know she is? She's a cunt.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
she's a racist cunt.
She's a,
and I hope that
we used to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Go TA.
Has anybody ever seen the movie Mandingo from 1972?
Yep.
Where like Mandingo, he was like doing his work, and then like the wife was pissed off. The husband calls him up to the room, and then she basically had an affair with the slave, and then the house, like, well, there's a doctor.
Hold on. I just want to correctly classify that. If you're an enslaved black man and you don't have any way of saying, no, I'm not.
That's rape too.
That's also rape. Like, just full fucking stop. Black men were raped as well.
Yeah, because in the film, he says no. He says, no, I can't do this. She basically pulls, like, if you don't do this, I'm going to say you raped me.
Yep.
And so he was like, fuck. And so he gets her pregnant. Yeah. So in the film, they don't show it, but they talk about it. She gives birth to a kid, and like the doctor, the nursemaid, and there's like someone else. They're all white. They freak out, and they know what happened. Obviously, they're like, well, what do we do? They're like, well, I guess we just undo the umbilical cord and let it bleed out. I was like, damn. What the fuck? And then the husband finds out. He tries to cook him. He tries to cook Mandingo.
Good Lord.
In the film. It's a film. This film came out in like 72 or 75.
But to be clear, that was not uncommon back then.
Correct.
We were cooked and eaten by white people, by the white mob. This is part of lynching. And I am not making this up. I'm not being fucking... I'm some crazy conspiracy theorist. I literally have a fucking book that shows pictures of it. It was on fucking postcards. I would show it to you on the podcast, but it would immediately take this podcast off because it would be like, it's too much. But you can, look, just buy this book. Buy this book. It's called Without Sanctuary. And this is like one of the, because you can read about it. But if you want to see the actual physical, like the picture proof, it's in this fucking book.
There's one other book that also describes it. It's called The Delectable Negro. I posted it in the chat one time because I had never heard of that specific book.
There's no audiobook for it. I have to buy it to like read it.
Yeah. Cannibalism, which you almost always hear about with, sub-Saharan African tribes and and Amazon tribes,
South Americans,
South American, and they just don't have access to technology. But meanwhile, you got documented proof of it happening in America against black people in semi-modern times. Like, what in the entire shit?
Well, the dark meat always tastes the best, so
we do. We need to go some happier place.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about something real quick.
Go ahead. Keep bringing it down.
I posted it in the chat room, and it's very rare for me to. I mean, I get excited about cars, but there's a car that's coming back that I'm about to bust out on. But DMC or DeLorean Motors something company, they're bringing it back to DeLorean. They're bringing it back as an electric car. It's going to be an EV, and they're estimating.
Who owns DeLorean now?
I think it's
so. I think
they're independent now.
There's
still the DMC. So
no, it's. I mean, technically the name is DMC, but the guy that used to own DMC, he was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And he sold a lot of drugs, and he lost his company. That's why DMC went away. But there was a group of people in Texas, I believe, that bought all of the DMC like old DeLorean parts, and so they're actually building new DeLoreans from like the 80s today, and it's like 95% of like the original parts, and so now they're gonna build. Go ahead, Blue. I don't want to steal the rest of your thunder.
But yeah, so I was trying to go to the website to see, because they have, right now, if you go to DeLorean.com, they have a timer, a countdown. You have 25 days, 23 hours for them to make a huge announcement. And on there, they have the silhouette of which I believe will be their future DeLorean. And it's got me wet in my pants. Goddamn, it looks fucking sexy. It looks very, very fucking futuristic. And I really, really can't. And I heard, so at the top, underneath the logo DeLorean, it has a V on there. And DeLoreans were known for having gull-wing doors. And so most likely, I'm hoping that this car will have the gull-wing doors. But this will be a complete electric car. It's not going to be up there with the Tesla Plaid as far as speed goes.
It doesn't have to be.
It's going to have some power. It doesn't have to be.
Hold on. As long as it has okay power, I'm talking about like around 4-second 0 to 60 time, and just a decent amount of range. That's all they need. The main thing they need is a fucking dope ass style, because I don't know if y'all remember. Well, if you're an older person, like we all are, the original DeLorean design was fucking mind blowing. It was fucking insane, but the car was slow as shit. It was not fast by any fucking means. When they showed it going like 86, or what was it? It was 86 miles per hour, right? 88 miles per hour. That was pretty near the top of how fucking fast that car could go. It was not fast.
Well, actually, for the movie, they actually edit that, so that DeLorean actually doesn't go over, I think, like 75 miles an hour. That's 75 is the max on that car. So gun DeLorean, you probably get up to like 65, maybe 70. But back then, the speed limit was a whole lot lower too. So, but yeah, so the future DeLorean is supposed to do a quarter of a mile in like. This doesn't have the specs on here anymore. I had the specs earlier, but I don't see them anymore.
If it's 12 or 11 seconds, that'd be great. I mean, 12 or 11 seconds, I'm fine with that.
One of the catchphrases for the original DeLorean was that it was the poor man's Ferrari, because it was pretty cheap compared to like a sports car, but then again, it was still expensive where the normal man couldn't own it. But so they're saying that this is going to be in kind of the mid-range price, so more like 35 to 50,000, depending on like, what you get added to it.
I'm seeing estimated retail price of 100,000.
Honestly, I think that's more accurate. It'll probably be around the 100,000 mark,
because it looks like they're only going to be building 50 vehicles per year over 6 years. That's very limited.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. Like, honestly, the ass of this car looks great. That's the way I like my women. I'm just saying.
Damn. So
look at the silhouette.
You want to know what's funny? Even though the company is based out of Texas, the guy who bought it is British. This British guy, a British car mechanic from Liverpool. He created a separate company in Humble, Texas. He managed to reclaim the trademark and the remaining parts inventory.
Yeah.
And this is in '95 though.
Yeah. But they just recently, like in like the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
They started like actually pumping out new quote unquote DeLoreans that were old DeLoreans.
Yeah.
That shit looks fire as fuck, man.
It does look futuristic.
There's a YouTuber. He test drove a DeLorean that has they obviously did an engine swap, and it's got fucking turbo in it, and it's fucking sexy. They probably can go back in time as fast as that car was, but I remember there's like a DeLorean that was converted into a fucking monster truck. I remember that. It's fucking dope. Yeah.
You know what's funny? So, Blue, do you know who Doug DeMuro is?
Yes, the YouTuber that like reviews cars.
Yeah, so I actually reached out to him to like review my car, and he actually finally got back to me, and he said like I might be on the list, so we'll see.
Oh, nice. Yeah. For the Infinity?
Yeah, for the Infinity. I should probably tell him about that. Probably tell him about my M Roadster too, but I'm probably going to sell it. But the Infinity is like, it's incredibly rare. People think that like the car that I have is an FX fucking 35 or 37, but it's not. It's a 50S, which is like crazy rare. But it's only crazy rare like if you know what the fuck you're looking for, because it's like when it came out, it was like faster than a Mustang GT, and faster than like most SUVs. Like it was faster than the Porsche Cayenne when it came out, but it's like you don't see them on the road that much anymore because there's not that many of them that were out there. So and I have one. I have the S.
Very good shit.
I'm trying to find the quote from the owner of DeLorean where he said that the price range was going to be between 35 to 50,000. Because he wanted to make it an affordable car.
Yeah, that sounds like total bullshit. But like $35,000 in today's money is for a car. That's a used car.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially something that's like rare and elegant, fast, and plug-in like that. Yeah. Cronus is right. It's going to be north of that.
Yeah, especially if what's the horsepower that they're advertising? Because the higher the horsepower generally means the higher the price.
Well, I mean,
along with other amenities.
Unless you're what is it, Dodge? You can get super cheap ass power for Dodge cars. It's not safe though. I'm just saying.
No.
You get a fucking Hellcat with no It's not the Hellcat. There's actually one car that's more. It's a Challenger, but it's not the Hellcat. I think it's like a 392. It's like one of the most dangerous cars to drive.
Oh, is it the super? It's not the Super Bee. No,
it's that and like the old school like Vipers that are Dodge, like because they had no traction control, no ABS, and it's just like you can't have 500 horsepower with no traction control. Like, like what is wrong with and no ABS? Like what the fuck is wrong with you?
Just got a death wish.
Yeah.
Old Ninja switching it up a little bit. It's obviously Star Wars Day. Goddamn it. Disney Plus had a awesome ass fucking trailer for Obi-Wan. What'd you think? How many times did you nut in your pants?
I've actually only seen it 3 times, but I was like, okay, I didn't want them to show too much, and I got that. I feel like they just expanded a little more of what we already got, which was good because...
Wait, I'm sorry, what show are you talking about? I zoned out for a second.
Oh, Obi-Wan.
Gotcha.
Obi-Wan.
Okay.
And then it's pretty crazy because we see Obi-Wan and Ben Lars sharing a scene, and fucking Owen just fucking tanks him. He's like, you done fucked up, man. You ain't going nowhere near this kid. I'm like, damn, that's all bad. And then we see Obi-Wan basically running for his life as everyone's trying to get his ass. And it's just like, fuck yeah. It's fucking crazy. It's like, and he's using the fucking blaster. I mean, we know how he feels about it, but it still was a good trailer. They didn't give out too much. They teased Darth Vader, and it looks like he was either getting maintenance done or something, or he got fucked up and got put back together again. So who knows? But the scene ends with what looks like Obi-Wan being scared.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. This is going to be it's going to be crazy because it's only going to be 6 episodes. The first night it drops, you get the first 2 episodes right on Star Wars Day. A lot of people lost their minds. It was pretty crazy. I'm excited. I can't wait. I hope they don't do another trailer because it's only 3 weeks away. So I think they've given us enough for us to be. I mean, the fur and the fever, the flavor. Everyone's waiting for this. They can't wait. Star Wars Celebration is like the week before in Anaheim this year. That's gonna be big. There are already expected announcements about games, future movies. This new animated show that they talked about, the Tales of the Jedi. Hopefully there's going to be some, like, a little bit of taste of that. There's going to be a huge Star Wars month, Star Wars Day. A lot of people are freaking out. Like, this is going to be a good month with a lot of Star Wars content, and I'm here for it.
Dude, I'm just glad to see Ewan McGregor, the God, back in this role. I mean, we haven't seen him playing Obi-Wan in a hot-ass fucking minute, man, right? I mean,
yeah, but we know what happens to Obi-Wan. We just don't know what happens in between, and we're about to get that. And we get Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure they're going to show him all scarred and fucked up. Like, what's he look like when he's partially healed?
Not that I'm completely shitting on every single aspect of the prequels, but I think Ewan McGregor was hands down one of the best things about the fucking prequels.
Oh, agreed.
Along with Mace Windu, but
like, I mean, well,
yeah, but Mace doesn't have that much screen time. I needed him to have more. But
one of the best things about the prequels was the actual action, like the actual like lightsaber action. They definitely elevated the lightsaber action in those movies. Like if you go back and watch like the original trilogy and watch the lightsaber, it was like watching some old ass fucking British knights, not the shoes. Like some old British knights, like doing like super slow, goddamn lightsaber action. Then you go and watch the prequels, and the lightsaber action was like watching fucking ninjas fighting, But
there's a lot of CGI in that, though, compared to the 01. Like Yoda fighting, like that was hella CGI, whereas he was a puppet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you cannot. There's no person that can move like. There's no person that small. First of all, so. You got a CGI.
A little baby in there.
It's like, how dare them CGI slime? What the fuck?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's happening today. Like sales for all the games. Some of them are up to 40% off. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga dropped new content. Well, new characters. I'm sorry, which is new content, but they finally added Ahsoka to the game, so you can be Ahsoka. You can be basically everyone from season 2 of The Mandalorian. They dropped some of the Bad Batch characters into the game.
Nice.
It's like $2 for a character pack. So it's like shit. Why not? For $2, you get like 6 characters. It's pretty awesome.
Well, I thought it was cool that if you have Disney Plus, there was an email that they sent out. It's titled "The Official Star Wars Timeline," and basically they start from the Phantom Menace and it goes all the way down to the Rise of the Skywalker, and they just list in order like how the movies and the TV shows, even animated series, play in the timeline of the Star Wars franchise.
You know what I wish they would do?
Fitting in the space.
This is an idea that somebody can steal because obviously I don't have money to make this. But what they should do, because you know when they say they always say in the beginning of Star Wars movies and shit like that, like it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yep.
They need to make a series of showing like the bridge between a long time ago into like modern day, into like prehistoric or modern humans. Like where was that bridge?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you go back and like watch or read Isaac Asimov books from like the iRobot books to like the Foundation books, like he explains the timeline between like modern humans into like robot times and like this far-flung future where, you know, humans have conquered the vast majority of the galaxy and there's no more robots. I think they should. I think there would be some interest in like seeing like what happened between like the humans that were in whatever the fuck galaxy Star Wars is in to humans now. Like, like what happened? And they can take all kinds of fucking liberties with that.
Yeah,
they can, but I mean the current, I guess media push or whatever. I forget what they call it, but it's the High Republic era. So there's a lot of liberties they're able to take with that. I mean Yoda's in it, but he doesn't have a major role. But they're able to delve more into a little bit more into the Sith, even though the Sith are still not around. They still have like Sith lore and Sith artifacts that are kind of dangerous. We're gonna get a TV show within the next 2 years based on this era, which I'm hoping they show during Celebration, because I know they've been kind of putting it together. I don't think they started principal photography. Maybe we'll see storyboards. We still haven't seen Star Wars Andor, even though there's like a semi-trailer. Well, hopefully they'll release that. And then with the Tales of the Jedi, this may be, well, at least the comics were like 1,000 years before A New Hope.
Oh, wow.
It showed like, you know, when the Jedi and the rise of the Sith and their split and why they're fighting. So hopefully they explore that in this. It's supposed to be animated, but hopefully they explore this in the animated series. Like these comics are kind of hard to get because a lot of people bought them up, and like getting them individually is hard. You have to get the trades. The trades are a little easier to get, but getting individual like back order comics are kind of difficult, especially now. So
there's ways. I mean, if you go to like My Comic Shop? Pretty sure that's where I can get like that's where most people can get kind of rare. You know, because they have second printings of like basically everything.
Yeah, there are second printings, but like a lot of the Star Wars fans, a lot of them like try to buy just like, you know, collector stuff. They try to buy more than one, then try to resell it or whatever, or they just want to keep it, hope it like matures and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but that's second printings is like that. That's the fix to that issue. Because there's no reselling of second printings.
Yeah,
like they're basically worthless.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You know what I'd love to hear though, for Star Wars, I'd love to hear some more Fallen Order sequel. Like
that's supposed to. So there's 4 or 5 games, all by different developers. There might be Respawn's working on one, Ubisoft's working on one. The guys that do Quantic Dream is working on one, which was supposed to drop later this year. That got pushed into early Q1 2023. Amy Hennig is on another Star Wars project, which got announced like a couple weeks back. So I'm hoping to see name drops and possibly release dates for some of these. There's one more Star Wars project.
But hold on.
Besides the remake.
Shout out to Amy though. Like when you say her name, not everybody knows who she is and what she's about. Like her resume with Naughty Dog previously, right?
Well, yes, there's that, and then there's Vivendi, which went under.
Like you say, yes, there's that. Like that wasn't like probably her biggest thing.
It's pretty huge, right?
It was huge, but I mean, she's been not only with that, but she's also consulted with other games. I guess her first big game was Legacy of Kain, which was a huge franchise back in the day, and that's all her.
Stop. What was her biggest game?
Well, I said back in the day, not her.
What was her biggest game?
Probably Uncharted 3.
It's an Uncharted game, not fucking Legacy of Kain. And
Yeah,
you just
back
like
in the day. I mean, that
but
back
you
in
just-
the day, Legacy of Kain
bro,
was huge.
you just like rolled over. Oh, yeah, she did Uncharted, and it's like that was her biggest thing. That's what made her super famous.
I mean, remember
Rightfully
the
so.
Uncharted, yeah, the Uncharted franchise, huge. They even had a movie that did pretty well, like you mentioned a couple weeks back. 4 or 5, no, actually like 5 or 6 games now. But that franchise is just ginormous. She was a huge part of it. She has cachet in the fucking industry, and almost anything that she's tied to, I'd fuck with. I'd at least explore, or check it out to see what it's worth, because she has fucking talent. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, she got some street cred.
Yeah.
It'd be like me saying the creator of fucking Halo, and then like being like, yeah, he made Halo, but then also he made like fucking some obscure, not well known. Don't get me wrong, I played, Legacy of Kain. I love those games. You're right, they're good games, but it's not Uncharted, man. I mean, it's not Uncharted.
Yeah.
Well, what I was trying to point out is like her starting out was with Legacy of Kain and built up to Uncharted. But
yeah, but she's big time. That's all I'm saying.
She also made Michael Jordan's Chaos in the Windy City too. So I mean, they all can't be gems.
That's true. Everyone's got their missteps, and so she's had a previous Star Wars project pulled from her, which ended up being Fallen Order.
Yeah.
And so they're giving her free reign to do a new Star Wars game. So
yeah, it'd be like if I talked about Jason Jones, who you should know, old ninja, right?
I didn't hear the name of it.
Jason Jones,
the
director of the original Halo, and Halo 2, and Halo 3, and Halo 3 ODST, and Halo Reach. But then I said, hey, fuck all that shit. He made Marathon. I mean, he did make Marathon.
But he's known for Halo.
But yeah, because Marathon was like a Mac game. It was actually one of the few good Mac games was Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like nobody would know that this dude made Marathon. They know him from Halo.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if this franchise is still going, but the Jack and Dexter, was there sequels to these games?
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Was like a
I think
recent
there's one on a
sequel?
PS5.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
that's
you're thinking of Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, I'm thinking about
Okay.
Clank. Yeah.
Yeah, because Jack and Dexter,
These
that's
old
also
men
Jamie
don't
Henning.
know what they're talking
Or
about.
Amy Henning.
These fucking people.
Good shit, man. Yeah, so I'm happy about more fucking Star Wars, man.
So there's actually a weird fella had asked a question in the chat about it's Star Wars related. Not sure if you want to answer it, but
I'll answer it.
he
It's
asked,
easy.
which Star Wars character, live action and animated, would you bang the gong with?
Oh shit, fucking shit.
I had to keep it reading. It's like bang the gong is weird. I was just like, you mean just bang? Because there's no gong. Maybe that's the end, but yeah, there be no end. I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe the gong is a synonym for busting.
Oh no, because we're talking about the Gong Show back.
Oh, yeah.
I got you now. Jesus Christ, it was a while ago. Warrior fellow, I apologize. I understand in context now what the fuck you're talking about. I've been drinking. Ahsoka Tano, for me, super easy because it's my Canadian girlfriend, Rosario Dawson. I'm just saying. And no, she's not Canadian. It's just a phrase saying that, I want to, if I had a pass, I don't have a pass. If I had a pass, 100% Rosario Dawson.
I'm gonna go.
Oh wait, I'm answering for for Prodigy. All right, we should all know that General Holdo is for purple hair and all. He's about to be busting.
I can't stand her. I'll go young 1980 Princess Leia. You know,
slave costume Leia.
Especially back when we were young, she was quite attractive.
Yeah. I mean, she brought it. She brought it. Who y'all got?
Even though she kissed her brother, but you know whatever.
Sure did. Incest is best when you keep it in the family.
Damn.
Go
ahead. Blue, you got one?
Oh, I gotta look at the person's name.
Are you a girl with the blue tentacle fucking head things?
No, the one with the skin color one from Boba Fett.
Yeah,
the one that had that club.
So that's Garza Fwip, who's played by Jessica Biel.
Yeah,
is that really? Holy shit, really?
Yeah, it's Jessica Biel.
No, it's Jennifer Biel.
Or Jennifer Biel, sorry, yes.
Yeah, Jennifer Biel. But I was also going to say Ming-Na Wing, but her character ain't got no guts, so you can't really beat him up.
He's got jokes. He's got jokes.
Damn. Blew off the top rope.
Yeah, if I could have some motor oil.
Ming-Na Wen is actually, she is quite fine still to this day. And I want to say that she's an older lady, but she's not. She's like maybe 8 years older than me. So I think she's like 50, right?
Yeah, I think she's 50.
Yeah,
she's
58.
She's 58.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
just looked her up.
That's a little, but I'm just saying.
But I mean, she still gets this work.
She could still get this work if consensually get this work. I am nowhere near attractive enough to fuck any of the people I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, if I was more attractive,
force choke them. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm gonna say everyone picked pretty much everyone, but I'm gonna pick another one. I'm gonna pick Iden Versio.
Which one was that?
Iden Versio could get this work.
You are saying interesting words, old ninja.
Because
type that in the chat so I can fucking extract this information.
So Iden Versio, she was back in the day. We were watching this show. I'm pretty sure all of us were watching it. True Blood. Where she's butt-ass naked on this show.
Oh, yeah.
She was a shapeshifter on the show. She's a shapeshifter that had the daughter that Sam or Lot was dating towards the end of the series. But, yeah, you see all her goodies in that show. And I was like, that works for me. But Iden Versio, who's in Battlefront 2, which is her official story, because you actually see Operation Cinder in the game, she battles that. But she's still pretty bad. She got dunk and everything.
Wow. So, and she is another older lady. She's 56.
Wow.
Yeah, but she does not look anywhere even near 56. Janina Gavankar is the actress's name, and for y'all looking.
I didn't know that Janina Gavankar was that old.
Yeah, but she's pretty bad.
Because she was on she was on G4 TV a while back.
Yeah.
Oh man, I will never forget her on G4 TV because she was at Comic-Con and she was being interviewed with one of the guys from G4, and he didn't know who the actor who played Gaius Baltar. And then she's like, okay, well, he plays Gaius Baltar, and he still didn't know. And she just backtracking, just shamed this dude the rest of the interview. It was hilarious. It was so goddamn funny. I was like the best interview because it was live.
I'm sorry.
Dude can get out of it.
Janina Gavankar in real life is fucking 41. Sorry. She was born in 1980.
Okay.
Damn.
Still.
Yeah, her character was that age.
Yeah, her character was older, which,
makes sense.
I definitely know who Janina Gavankar is.
Yes, and you can see her bitch if you watch True Blood. But she's a very attractive woman as well. So.
Dude, what's her name was that in True Blood as well? Smoothier, the girl. I can't get her name.
Oh, Jessie.
No.
From Lovecraft.
From Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
Journey.
Yeah.
Journey.
She's in True Blood. You can see all her bits too.
Really? Damn, I missed that. I mean, True Blood had a lot of fucking nudity. I loved that show. It was just trashy awesomeness.
They need to make a new like True Blood.
Yeah.
But actually, you know what? It's probably like Bridgerton or some other fucking bullshit English fucking nonsense. I can't stand this new goddamn wave of English bullshit shows of like having brown people in it. I'm just like, can we stop pretending? Like we can pretend to a certain point, but I'm not pretending that fucking far. All right, I'm not pretending that fucking far. Like fucking stop it. Like I can't watch Bridgerton. I can't watch fucking. There's a couple other shows too that were like that, or like where brown people were just like accepted in society. I'm just like that's not true at all. And you're like trying to make it true, but it's not.
Yeah, it's a certain
what's
fantasy type of scenario.
So I know that show that K-Mac, or it's K now, right?
It's just K now. I still call it K-Mac, but it's K now. Yeah.
So there's a show that her and Mishka were all about trying to get y'all to watch. Was it Downtown Abbey or
Yeah,
Downton
I ain't
Abbey?
watching that shit.
Well, that one. I mean, I have problems with those too because I'm just like, this doesn't even seem interesting. It's so kind of bland and old, waspy European. So I don't know. I mean, here's the thing: period pieces aren't necessarily my bag. Like they just aren't.
You talking about metrocycles or what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking period pieces.
Bleeding on my eyes.
Yeah.
So
That's how.
Go ahead.
I'm like that. I'm like that with certain franchise. Like I'm not much into watching like movies with slavery or like westerns. I still feel like westerns were never real, but
so Django was definitely not your fucking jam, right?
Well,
the remake was. Well, I told you when I went to Louisiana, I went to that house that they filmed Django in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, this motherfucker to be burnt down. that house, I remember it's super small. Like it's from the front, it looks large because it's large sideways. But as far as depth goes, like you can walk through a room and walk to the other side, you'd be in the backyard.
Damn.
That's how fucking narrow that house is.
Wait, Blue, did you not watch The Harder They Fall?
That one was more. That's the one with Idris Elba, right?
Yes, Idris Elba.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, that one was good, but that was more kind of over the top. Even though it was based off of real people, but it was kind of like over the top.
Django was pretty over the fucking top. I mean, he blew up the entire fucking plantation house at the end after shooting Samuel L. Jackson it was the kneecaps, right? He shot him in the knees.
Yep.
Yeah, let him fucking blew his ass up. That was hilarious.
Is that a Western?
Yeah, I mean
Django is
definitely
a Western.
Yeah.
Is it slavery?
Yeah, it's a slavery.
Same time.
It's a Western. It's a buddy movie too.
Mm-hmm.
What about Wild Wild West?
With that's a comic, isn't it? Was that a comic or
It's Westerns too.
Honestly, that movie was
Still
some shit, but I didn't mind the movie at the time.
I enjoyed it
Because it was the same style as like Men in Black. It seemed like the same.
Yeah, except in Wild Wild West.
Like,
yeah.
We gotta see Selma Hayek's butt cheek.
Selma Hayek is extra fine. I'm just saying, and she's like a fine wine.
And some people are too young to actually even remember this, but I remember being a teenager and seeing Dusk Till Fucking Dawn.
Nope, even before that, bruh.
Oh, really?
Before that, when she was in Desperado, when she was in Desperado, I was like, bruh, I might run out of fucking cum. I'm just saying.
I got one better than that. And in Full Rush In, there's a scene with her getting out of the pool, and it's like, and this is young. I think this was her first movie.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I fucked up. I saw Dusk Till Dawn first, and I was like, "Who is this woman?" And then I went back, and I was like, "Oh, I need to see everything she's in." But god damn, here's how you know it was bad. She used to make, and this seems like blasphemy nowadays, but she used to make '90s J-Lo just kind of look like ho hum, like by comparison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. That's how bad she was and is.
Even today, I will argue she looks better than J-Lo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think she doesn't. Her ass isn't as nice as J-Lo's, but literally everything else about her, including personality, way better than J-Lo.
Yeah.
So, so Desperado came out. Well, that wasn't her first movie, but the first, I guess, American movie.
That was the first movie we spoke English, I think.
Yeah, and then From Dusk to Dawn was after that, and then Foolish Roshan was after that. That was like 2 years later, so I was wrong. But yeah, Selma Hayek.
Desperado's a fucking
Dogma.
God, I love that movie.
Yeah, she was in Dogma. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
Oh yeah, she's a goddess that's stripping. It's awesome.
Isabella Fuentes. Damn, that name's just sexy.
Did anybody see or play any of this Overwatch 2 closed beta at all?
No, because it was closed and I didn't sign up. So
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but I do want to play it though because I'm interested in the new Overwatch because I actually enjoyed Overwatch. I played as Zenyatta, which is like nobody plays that character, but I fucking love playing as him. And then there was like once or twice when they had like a PvE element to it, and I played that a lot, and then they stopped it. But from what I understand so far, Overwatch 2 will have PvE like in the actual game, like
Good.
for like the vast majority. That's like a main selling point for me. So if they have PvE in the game, I will 100% buy it like day one.
You know what was so weird about that game? First of all, I loved it, even though it was mostly PvP. It needed it. You almost got bits and pieces, like it wanted to give you a story, but didn't. I was like, all these characters seem to have this incredible, fun backstory or tragic backstory, and they told that story through comics and through even like Overwatch or Pornhub, but like through videos that Blizzard would actually release on YouTube and whatnot. And I was like, God damn it! An actual campaign with some of these characters would go fucking hard as shit.
Well, that's one of the reasons why
co-op campaign would have been awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I didn't really enjoy the game because I'm a huge Blizzard fan. I used to be ranked at StarCraft, and I played a whole bunch of not World of Warcraft, but the original Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. I played a bunch of that, mainly Warcraft 2 because that's back in my day. And they were like very story driven, and then Overwatch came out, which is, don't get me wrong, the gameplay was amazing, but the way they told the story was terrible. And a good way to like progress any sort of story in a game is to have a PvE element. And they just like, you can't have a multiplayer game only and like try to tell a fucking story. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like no game that is PvP only has anywhere near even a decent story.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's pretty much impossible, but it was so weird because even like the intro cutscene, you were just like, oh man, I want to be a hero for this group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like, what are
when Winston starts talking?
But none of it matters when you play the game. It's just like you're all just together. You can have the villains and the heroes together, and it's just like,
yeah, exactly.
What are we doing here? But the gameplay was fun. It was.
Oh, man.
I can't argue that. The gameplay was fun as shit.
Yeah. Actually, in terms of a shooter, a true first-person shooter that literally didn't have any blood in it, from what I recall, I think it was a T for teen game. It wasn't M for mature. It had mass appeal.
Yeah, it surprised the world. I'm looking forward to part 2, but obviously it's kind of on the back burner because Blizzard's going through some shit right now. I'm just saying. Yeah. But hopefully they make it through and we get Overwatch 2 and the next Diablo, and there's a Diablo
4.
Yeah, there's Diablo 4, but there's also the mobile version.
Yeah,
which
Mortal
could be good. I don't know yet because honestly, like phones are pretty fucking powerful right now, and they can support like a lot of shit. So we will see like how well that does. But yeah, I mean, Blizzard is not done yet. They need to get through like this transition period of like harassing women and being shitty to their employees. So yeah, get through that. Hopefully. It's just weird to me. I used to want to work for Blizzard so bad when I was younger, especially when I first got into data storage, because they had some openings available, but they weren't paying enough for me. And I was just like, why aren't you, especially in like Irvine, because I used to live in Irvine. And I was just like, at the time they weren't paying enough. I'm just like, dude, like, why aren't you paying like a decent wage for this job? Because this job is like, especially back then, You had like no storage guys, like fucking anywhere. And yeah, it's crazy to me that they weren't paying that well at the time.
Yeah. They definitely still know how to make some fun characters. We'll see what fucking happens. I'm excited, but I don't think it's gonna drop in 2022.
No, I don't think so either. I think 2023 or maybe 2024.
Yeah. So we'll just have to keep paying attention to it and shit. And
honestly, I'm okay with that. There's plenty of games that are coming out in the near future. Shit, I'm still playing fucking Wonderlands, and there's plenty of other games. And fucking Switch Sports. Jesus Christ, can we transition for this right now?
We're already talking about games.
Yeah.
Let's transition to how I almost fucked up my 5-year-old from playing video games. So so Switch Sports came out, and my mother-in-law is living with us now, and in my tiny house, which is getting renovated, which is kind of cool. It's got a really cool like color to it now. Our house is blue, a pretty dope version of blue and white. Anyway.
Thanks, man. All these compliments.
Yeah.
First I'm cute, now I'm dope. Oh shit.
Anyway,
so special.
We've been
What's my birthday?
Yeah. Happy birthday. But it's like past your birthday, but yeah, happy birthday.
4 days.
I still have your present on my desk. It's sitting right here in front of me. Anyway, Switch Sports came out like last week, and I've been waiting for it to come out because I was like, something that me, like the whole family can do, including my mother-in-law, because like anybody can play, Wii Sports, Switch Sports, because that's like their whole appeal. Anybody can play it. And I was like, maybe like hopefully Switch Sports will get the appeal of like Wii Sports, because Wii Sports is a fucking phenomenon, and I'm not exaggerating at all. Like back in the day, holy fucking shit, that single game sold the console. Seriously sold the console, and it was amazing. And the new one is almost just as amazing. Almost. The only reason why I say almost because it doesn't have as many games. I think it's like 6 games in this one. The other one had I think like 9. But there's going to be DLCs coming out for Switch Sports. But man, like getting to play like Switch Sports with the whole family, including like my mother-in-law, it was like it's amazing. Like we can all like understand the way that everything plays. And my daughter Riley, like she's 5. And she is so fucking good at the like racket games. Like, so they have badminton and tennis, and she's like seriously good. I'm not exaggerating because like obviously I'm a gamer. And I'm actually really good at the tennis games, but badminton, she fucking beat me at badminton first couple times, and I was just like, okay, I gotta like understand how to fucking play badminton a little bit better. I'm good at badminton in real life, but I'm thinking that's the same mechanics as like as like tennis in the game, but it's not the same mechanics as tennis. So if you're thinking tennis is gonna like all the mechanics gonna work in badminton, you're gonna catch some L's, like a lot of L's. So you got to adjust your play style a little bit. But yeah, it's been so this is how we almost fucked up a 5-year-old from video games. First day it came out, we played like probably I'm gonna say 5 hours solid. 5 hours solid the first day it came out. And so the first night she went to bed just fine. Second night I played some more. Not 5 hours, but we still played a lot. It was probably actually more than 5 hours the first day. Then the second night she goes to bed and she wakes up and she's literally almost like sleepwalking. Or like she woke up, but she thinks she's playing the video game. And so she's talking about like, I don't want to lose. And she's like swinging her arm around like she's playing the game. I'm just like, oh, fuck. Because if you play any video game or game enough, like you dream about it, like in your head, But we all know that we're dreaming about it, and so that's what happened to her. Like she would get up and she thinks that she's still playing the game, and it was just like, dude, oh man. And then like, okay, we're gonna come back a little bit. It happened like 3 nights in a row, and it's just like, fuck. All right, so we have to like curve back on like video games. And then like I guess like one of the lights in her room were like keeping her up, and she thought that it was like the lights were the video game. And so she would like play with the lights and shit. So it was like, man, yeah, you have to like really pay attention to like how much your kids play video games at that age. But she's doing it right now. But it's just like, I think the fact that she was like good at it and she was playing at it for like a long period of time was not great. So, yeah. Did you guys play the game yet?
No.
None of you guys have Switches, do you?
No. I thought about it.
It's kind of like back in the day when we had like Nintendo and we played Mario for so fucking long that music would just continue playing in our heads, even though we're fucking we haven't played it in like a day or so. You get that.
Yeah, that was like her. Oh, there you go. Prodigy's back. He left for a second.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear you guys for a second.
Oh. It says you're muted, but you're not muted. That's really weird.
Oh. No, I mean, it's kind of tricky when they're young, but I mean, it's also kind of fun. I think it's fun that, families play together. And it's like you were saying, it's why the Wii was doing very well, because whole families were playing one system. So
it also came with the console. That was the other thing that was great.
That too. But, I mean, being able to play. I mean, another game that's usually better for teens is Mario Party.
We have that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because some of the mini games, I think you need a little bit more coordination. So
yes,
but those are fun family games too. And if you're older, it's a fun drinking game. So
I mean, she's 5, so she drinks water.
Sippy cup.
Yeah. Sippy cup. I got. She gave her some whiskey. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I thought about getting the new OLED one.
The OLED one is fantastic because we have both now.
But yeah, I was like, am I really going to use this? Like, I already have a shit ton of games I haven't even opened.
With the OLED, does it have the separated controllers or is it one thing?
No, it's separate. It's the same. What's it got? I can probably grab them in a second. Oh,
if it's not the light. The light doesn't come apart.
I got to use the bathroom anyways. If they're not both, if they're not using it right now, I'll pull them both out so you can see.
All right. Sure. You didn't know? Oh, so Blue, I got to put you on a little bit because I'm kind of behind on this. But Young Justice Phantoms, you're caught up.
Yeah.
So I think I'm behind one episode. I think.
Yeah, Young Justice, man. This season has been really, really fucking dragging and slow. Except there's one. Did you see the part with Beast Boy and Black Canary?
No, I've not seen that.
Oh god, dude. There's a scene with them, and dude, it made me fucking cry. Like the voice of Beast Boy is like the original voice of Beast Boy from like the from Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go.
Yeah,
that one hippie dude.
He also does the movies too. I think only once he was someone else, but it's usually the same voice actor.
Yeah, but damn, his voice acting in that scene had me fucking balling, dude. I was like, damn, holy shit, like this fucking cartoon got me in my goddamn feels. But other than that, I mean, the show's been really dragging along. There hasn't been much action going on. It's like.
Yeah, I mean,
a bunch of backstory going on, but like,
yeah, I mean, to be true, there's been a lot of crazy story elements that hasn't had any like cohesion until like 2 weeks ago, when you find out like all this started from the 31st century, and you got basically Kryptonians traveling through time that are fucking up the current timeline and trying to like undermine the Legion of Superheroes. So basically, they're trying to stop the Legion of Superheroes from being formed, and it's crazy because they use General Zod's bloodline. So it's a different General Zod. It's like his
I like this
brother. Yeah, it's like so. It's basically it's Val Zod's family, which is basically Val Zod's the Black Superman. It's his family's Kryptonian lineage that's fucking up this shit. Because you get 2 generations of Zods. Because some of them spent literally a millennia in the Phantom Zone, get out in the 31st century, have a kid, then that kid goes back to get revenge. So I was like, oh, this is how it all started, basically season 4. And you find out that Connor Kent is trapped in a particular zone. He was in like I thought it was the negative zone, but then I was like, this has got to be the Phantom Zone. And sure enough, we find out he's been trapped in there. We don't know how he got there per se, but he's been like in this weird PTSD emotional syndrome, and they've been kind of dealing with that with almost every story arc. So it's not so much. Yeah, everyone's all fucked up on something. It's either depression or family drama,
Sexual
which is
identity.
kind of sexual identity. But that one's not as forefronting. I mean, it's there, but it's usually family drama has been more of the forefront. It's even the magic storyline because you get Mary. She's originally Mary.
With Zentana
No,
too.
yeah, no. Yeah, it was Zatanna too with her dad.
With her and her dad, yeah.
Mary, it's Bloomfield, but in the comics she's Mary Bastion, but she has this huge family drama, which goes back to Shazam and how she got her powers, and then she ends up, discarding kind of her heroic role and is like, I'm just gonna embrace power. If people die, they die, type shit. So I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, that episode was pretty dope with Zentana and all her students and stuff.
Yeah,
but
that was cool. But it also, I mean, it was weird because it didn't really finish, but then it ties into what's happening currently. And then the school bus. I thought it was a magic school bus, but it was actually a school bus that gets fucking fucked up in like the teens episode of the series. So it's been kind of all over the place, but it still kind of comes back together over time. So I'm like, whoa. And there's been, like you said, it's been not as action heavy, but it's been political. It's been more family drama. It's been a bit more emotional, especially when like a character dies and like it's affected everyone. Like literally the end credit scene is one character just crying and begging that it be not true. And I was like, holy shit. And there's like no music. It's just this one person crying for like a good 2 minutes. Like,
what's also crazy is that like Young Justice, a lot of fucking people have died. Like,
true.
You look at the track record, a lot like fucking Kid Flash died. There's a lot of people that fucking died. I mean, technically Superboy's dead, or they think they are. What do you say?
Yeah, Superboy. I mean, there's the statues where they're dead. It was there's a couple of them.
And there's a Robin that's dead too, right?
Yeah, one of the Robins is dead. I think Tim Drake. Is it Tim Drake? I think Tim Drake is dead. Yeah, Tim Drake is dead because we've seen Damian, I think, in season 3. So Tim Drake is dead. Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Black Lightning leads the Justice League, but he's literally been in one episode and had like maybe 1 or 2 lines, and he doesn't do anything. They're just picking out new members, and I feel like there's a shit ton of members. Like we've probably seen 30 characters over 20 some odd episodes, maybe more.
Yeah. This is the list of characters that have died.
I guess Roy Harper kind of died.
Yeah, so yeah,
there's like Jason, 4 clones.
Yeah, Jason Todd died. Aqua Girl died. Blue Beetle passed away. I think this was the older
Ted
one.
Cord, probably Ted Cord.
Fucking Plasma died. Victor, damn. Some of these are no name heroes. I mean, Halo died, but she came back.
Yeah, I mean, she's still Halo, but she's using the body, or the alien entity is using the body of Halo.
Both Lord.
Yeah. Bunch of folks died.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still watching the series. They're leading up to something, but it's still kind of slow. But now that you mentioned the whole like the drama and stuff like that, and a lot of it's around family. Like, yeah, every episode pretty much is that. Like even not Martian Manhunter, Miss McGann. Like she went back to Mars and she had this whole fucking thing with her sister. Like they fucking hate each other, and then like there's some racial shit happening on the planet.
Yeah,
it's like,
it was all racial. There was overt racism, and they try to like combat it, but it's like it's super ingrained into the Martian society with their whole racism to where it explodes into violence.
White Martians versus green ones.
It was
even green versus green.
It was green versus green, white versus green, because there's like different factions of Martians. So it was like super. It's basically, I think, clan names. I think it was. It's been a minute, but there's like Miss Martian's parents. There's one green and one white, but in her and her sister, she came out white. Her brothers are white, but one of them's green. So it's like super crazy.
Damn.
It's hard to tell them apart. sometimes, but they're part of different clans, and
what do you mean, you
they
people?
bust out in fights. Yeah, it was super crazy, but I do appreciate the more adult themes. It's not super actiony, where it's like action after action, like kind of like the Batman animated series. Um, oh, the one thing I didn't understand was the whole Green Lantern episode. Come to
That shit
find
came out of
out,
nowhere.
it did, but come to find out that it was a continuation from Green Lanterns, the animated series,
Oh,
where they
really?
didn't get a chance to finish the storyline, and they brought him into uh, Young Justice to finish the story out.
Oh
I
shit!
mean,
So I was like, oh shit,
that
yeah.
lantern looked pretty fucking dope though. Like
He did a
the way
sick
his
ass
fucking hoodie
shoot,
and stuff was.
and he was dealing with emotional trauma, and that's why
Yeah.
he had two different rings, and
What I,
then he
what's
ended up using the power of two rings.
I actually didn't know what that the blue lanterns were like. Their sign was hope, which I was like,
Hmm.
oh shit, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Like
Yeah,
I can see
blue's
myself
hope.
cosplaying that.
I
Or get
forgot
it. I need
white.
a shirt.
Yeah, I forgot white. White was purity or some shit. What was white?
Love.
Of course,
Was it love?
white's gotta be
Something.
purity.
Yeah, because there's yellow. Obviously, was fear. There's green
Red.
for will. There's red. There's blue. There's
Fear.
pink.
No,
There's
yellow's fear.
black. Yeah, there's black and white, and I think that it's basically all the colors of the rainbow,
Mm-hmm.
basically, but except for the ones that you can see. So, and each one stands for something, which is pretty cool. But it was cool because they brought in other lanterns. They brought in Kilowog. They brought in the bird guy. I forget his name. To finish out this guy's storyline and to introduce like a fusion of two rings, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen that in like
First time I've
animated
seen it.
series. Yeah.
So new episode tonight. So at midnight tonight will be a new episode. So
I'm gonna try to catch up on that one. I'm trying to
it's a
marathon
lot,
it.
man. It's like 20 some odd episodes now.
Damn.
Yeah, they're already gone pretty deep.
Good shit. All right, y'all want to wrap it on?
Real quick, because I know I talked about it before I got up for a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is so I can show you the Switch OLED versus the normal Switch. So the Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, this is like super reflective. Hold on a second.
That Black Mirror.
I was looking up the White Lanterns. So here. So anyway, the one on the left.
The one with
I
the
guess
color
for you
controllers?
guys? Yeah, the one that's white. This is the Switch OLED, and the other one with the blue and white. Oh, sorry, the blue and red is the normal Switch. So you can tell by the screen is actually much bigger on the. Hopefully these have power. They should. Yeah, if you look at like the screens, like the screen for the OLED one is like way bigger, and it's like way brighter, and it's way fucking better. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting a Switch OLED or a normal Switch at this point in time, get the fucking Switch OLED. It's a much better, they're basically the same, but the screen, if you're playing it, in handheld mode, is so fucking far superior. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. If you're just gonna play on your TV all the time, honestly, I would probably still get the Switch OLED. It's like $50 more, if that, but it's worth it. If you happen to get this Switch, the regular Switch, the original Switch, if you get a Switch OLED, your original Switch will work in the OLED dock. So I don't know if the Switch OLED will work in my normal Switch dock. I haven't tried that yet because my Switch dock is in here, my normal Switch dock, the original. But yeah, I put this one, the original Switch, in the Switch dock for the Switch OLED dock all the time, and it works just fine. So yeah, 100%. Get the Switch OLED. It's definitely, especially because the fucking kickstand is way fucking better than the original one. The screen is better. The sound is a little bit better. Honestly, it feels better in the hands. Like the Switch that I have, the original Switch, the back is like really plasticky and it's fucking broken. If you see here, I actually have a new case. I just had to put it on because I went through and already replaced like the fan in my original Switch already. I actually had to buy like a fucking tool set for it. This is like the part of the tool set. I think I got it from iFixit. But yeah, it's a really good tool set that I got from iFixit. And the new fan and some other stuff for it. But yeah, there's really no reason to buy like an original Switch right now, unless you can't afford the extra $50. But the $50 to me is worth it. So if it even is $50 extra right now, it's probably like less than that now. So yeah, just get the new Switch OLED.
Get the new hot one.
Yeah.
Old Ninja, what you got populating this week? Goddamn it.
So I'm gonna try to find time to watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Probably not until Monday. The new Star Trek series starts tonight at midnight, but I'm gonna wait until like tomorrow or the day after to watch it. I'm behind on Picard a little bit, and Halo, because I think Halo's getting close to the end. I finished Moon Knight because it's only 6 episodes, so it ended today. Probably gonna play me some Lego Star Wars just for Star Wars Day before the end of the night. What else are I doing? Everyone's going off about this Green Lantern, John Stewart, Green Lantern, Beware My Power. So it looks like it's a new series starring John Stewart, Green Lantern. So there's a trailer out now. I'm gonna try to check it out. Hopefully we can talk about it next week. I really want to see Doctor Strange. I want to see how it's going. I'm avoiding spoilers for now. I do want to check out this new Star Trek show with Pike. I'm excited about that one.
Strange New Worlds is what it's called.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds.
What did you say?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, I was going to say
Doctor Strange New World?
Yeah, I was going to...
Doctor Strange New World in the multiverse of space.
Yeah, so I'm going to be just checking out these kind of things. Starting to get warmer here in the Bay. So I may squeeze in a beach day, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's it for me.
Good shit. Blue, what you got?
Man, I need to clean out my hot tub. I need to drain the water and fill that back up. Because, yeah, like Odin just said, it's getting warm in the Bay. But for me, I'm not really doing too much. I'm looking to get a new car seat for my son because he's kind of outgrowing the one he's in now, which is crazy, which is fucking nuts. But yeah, it's constantly watching this little dude grow. He's starting to get a personality, and it's funny. He's something he did today. It's interesting how clever little kids can be because like he can take stuff out of like the cabinet shelves and stuff like that. But if I ask him to put it back, like he puts it back. Like he knows, like, okay, this goes there. So a lot of times he's pulling stuff out and then sticking it back in there and pulling it back out and sticking it back in there. And I think it's fascinating that he like knows that he can put things back where he got them, which is cool. But yeah, just watching this little dude just get bigger and bigger. It's amazing. I love to hear him laugh. I love tickling him and stuff like that. It's fucking great. At work, I might have to start going back into the office, which kind of sucks. I was in the office today, and yeah, not many people wearing masks, even though like the cafeteria was pretty fucking full of people. But then like I had this one guy fucking like riding on my ass, like he was hella close to me. I'm like, can you back up? Because there's still fucking COVID out there. Like even you're vaccinated, I'm vaccinated. I don't want to get fucking sick. That's what it comes down to. It's not about getting COVID. I just don't want to get fucking sick. But yeah, I'm trying to dodge that as much as I can. But yeah, other than that, just spending time with my family, and I'm still playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, that's all right. Forbidden West, I'm still playing that. I'm just lost in like just doing side quests. It's the game is so much fucking fun. But I keep hearing rumors that there's going to be a couple of DLCs that are coming, so I'm actually looking forward to that. There's going to be some addition to the maps, and a lot of gamers have found the area. Like if you get to this area, you can see like something's there, but like it's just not there yet. So I don't know. The game is still fun to play. But there was a bunch of patches that came out because the game was broken for a little bit. Like there was a lot of times where like the dinosaur mechs, like they wouldn't render. It would just be like certain components just floating in the air, and I was like, okay, what the hell? And like some characters, I think I posted this on my Twitter. Like one character, face didn't load. It was just a fucking body. I was like, what the fuck? And then when it did start to materialize, it was all like pixelated. It looked like some shit from like Nintendo or from like early version of like Elder Scrolls or something. It was fucking creepy, man. But it seems like they fixed a lot of that, and they fixed a lot of bugs. They did nerf a few weapons, but it's still a fun game to play.
Apparently, there's a combination of like there's a certain bow and outfit combination that will make you do like 39,000 damage.
Damn.
Shit.
And basically, you can one shot almost everything in the game.
Yeah, it's a legendary bow. You got to get it from the arena. It's pretty awesome.
Well, that's it for me.
Good shit, Cronus. What you got?
I'm just getting ready to move. We're still packing. Shit's getting renovated. I'm gonna talk to my mortgage guy tomorrow to get pre-approved for some shit. And yeah, I'm gonna throw one last party. I guess my first and only party at this house.
Damn.
When we move, probably like
right.
the week that we move, we're gonna throw a party so everybody can see like, oh, look how nice it is. Sort of, but yeah, we're gonna move. I'm looking forward to honestly coming down there and just like kind of starting anew, and because there's like a lot of like just bullshit that we've been kind of dealing with here. And what's crazy is that like one of the neighbors that I kind of don't like, I think they moved out, and like they're renovating their place like right across the street. So like
Oh wow.
all the places that are the one with the dogs, like there's like been a bunch of places that are around here that have been like renovated and like sold for like a lot of money, and so we're renovating our place and we're selling for hopefully a lot of money too. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, I don't know if you're gonna get a new infinity base like this place, like a whole different building. In our new place, that's probably unlikely. It'll probably be like wherever my office is, like in the house. But if I can do another infinity base, I'll do it. But also, we need a guest house for my mother-in-law. So that's the highest priority is like getting her own like housing in either the front or the backyard. So like external to the house. But if I can do another infinity base, we can build another one. I will definitely do it. But if it's in the house, I'll make sure it's dope. So, and I'll take pictures. I'll make a video of the infinity base after they landscape the backyard so it doesn't look all shitty in the videos. Because like from the outside, like if you look at this place, it looks like a normal shed. But then as soon as you open the door, you're just like, whoa, like what the fuck?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff in here. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Prodigy again, my brother, his family, Prodigy's family. Like, I think it's time for me to like progress my life on. So I'm looking forward to it.
Moving on up.
Prodigy, what you got?
Really? For me, I am slowly starting to explore a little bit of San Diego. I've stumbled upon a neighborhood. I was telling you guys in the chat, North Park. I'm really mad at you San Diego folks like Vic from VZA and a few other folks. Your brother or whatever. Nobody told me about this neighborhood. That place is cool as fuck. You can't fucking throw a stick without hitting 50 fucking bars and cafes and restaurants and all this other fun stuff. They also have their own, I'm going to call it the equivalent of a mini boss in terms of the bar in San Jose that was an arcade. And I was like, man, I just want to kick it here with you guys all the fucking time. So,
do you ever go to the gas lamp? Have you been to the gas lamp yet? Yeah,
I've been there. Gas lamp is really cool and nice as well. Don't get me wrong. But this is just off of like Balboa Park, so it's actually not crazy far away.
Yeah.
But anyway, slowly enjoying some San Diego. My daughter wants to go to a botanical garden this weekend, so I'm looking forward to taking her there. And I'm just really catching up on some shit. If I want to see a Jujutsu Kaisen 0. If it's still in theaters, I may try to finally see it on maybe Saturday because I saw there's like one theater in San Diego proper that has it. Other than that, I'm going to just be fucking chilling and just enjoying the fact that it'll be warm and it's finally May. And then Happy Mother's Day. That's on Sunday.
Yeah.
So take us out, old ninja.
Yeah, it's about to be Mother Lover's Day. You just experienced Black Times Infinity. dankest podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere and everywhere with Bees and BTI. That's BTHAN BTI. Anywhere you listen to podcasts on YouTube, we go live every Wednesday, 8:30-ish Pacific time. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Check out our official website, BenHabProductions.com/BeesandBTI. You can email us at beesandbti@gmail.com. And we have a Discord. Let us know if you want to join. Email us. We'll see if you're cool or if you even listen.
Stomp them out, Dave.
Waffle
Congratulations to Ben Shapiro.
In penetrating further and further into the unknown vastness of space.
Finally coming out.
Yet many questions remain
Slay,
unanswered.
bitch.